Hi everybody. Um, just recording a new video. Wanted to give everybody a bit of an update. I had a random phone call from a woman a couple of days ago, and I think it was Thursday or Friday of last week, and she had claimed that I had answered some questions through her business page, saying that I was looking for love or wanted to hear more about seminars or something or other. So it was a very random phone call that I got. And she said, look, would you be interested to talk a little bit more about my business, and would you be interested to hear about, would you be interested in knowing that I have the tools to help you find love and your soulmate? And I went, oh, well, yeah, that's kind of up my alley. And so she sent me a video. I watched a video, kind of explained, the process of, and so she claimed, this is what her business is, that she is a qualified psychologist, that she's done a lot of research, she's spent, $100,000 worth of, self-improvement videos, DVDs, seminars, and part of her business was to be a life coach, a confidence coach. So quite a bit of qualifications, and I'm not doubting her business at all. It was just very random. And so I kind of went with it and went, okay, I give her the benefit of the doubt, and obviously, in my situation, why wouldn't I give it a shot, or at least hear what she had to say? And so I believe that the universe gives you or sends you what you need to receive at that very moment in time. So I was like, oh, well, it must be a sign, and I'm just going to go with it. Watched this video, had a phone call with her. Was it yesterday or yesterday? Yeah, I think it was yesterday because today's Tuesday. So had this conversation with her, explained and divulged a lot of information, personal information about previous relationships, and obviously we identified a bit of a pattern happening. And then at the end of the conversation, she was like, I think these are the different areas that my business can help you in, and I have a 12-week program, and the 12-week program is going to cost you $490 something, or $125 a week. Now, I'm on a very strict budget at the moment. I'm currently paying for some debt that is mine, but, $10,000 is very hard to save or pay off. So I kind of said to her, I was like, I'm really sorry. I'm not, I'm waiting for this catch to come in her conversation. And I said, I'm sorry, I'm not in a position to be spending money. And she kind of got a little bit aggressive and said, Vanessa, do you understand the value of what I'm offering you here? Do you understand that there's a solution for you? And she kind of made me feel like if I didn't do her course, then I'm doomed with love forever. She's like, if you don't fix this and you don't address these issues, or if you don't deal with your emotions, then it's going to keep happening. And I was like, you know what? I've gone through enough emotional trauma in previous relationships, especially the last one. And I was like, well, does this mean that I'm doomed with love forever? If I don't do this course, if I don't invest $500 to do this course with her, that I'm doomed to be single forever. And then I'm always going to be miserable and I'm always going to be unhappy. I mean, she talked about, letting go of limiting beliefs that I had, my subconscious mind had somehow conjured up and ingrained in my mind. She's like, if you don't if you don't do my course, you're not going to let go of these limiting beliefs, and therefore you're not going to be happy. And I was like, you're getting aggressive with me because of my financial situation. And yes, I do believe that what she was saying, there was a lot of truth to what she was saying, and it made a lot of sense to me. But she got aggressive because I was like, well, how can you guarantee me that this program is going to work for me? She's like, oh, well, there are, women that have done my course before, and it took them 8 weeks to meet someone. So does that mean that that person is going to be their forever person? I don't know. She just became aggressive. The fact that I was challenging her business and saying, she goes, I haven't just walked off the street. I've invested a lot of time and money into, learning different courses and going to seminars and investing time and energy into research. And I was like, that's excellent, but you can't guarantee me at the end of this I'm going to find my soulmate. And I became really, obviously through the conversation and bringing up past relationships and emotions and fears and worries and stuff like that, it brought up a lot of emotion for me, and I became very emotionally distressed, I would say. And I just couldn't believe how aggressive she was. And I left the conversation saying to her, look, I don't know that I have the financial means to be able to do your course. What you're saying to me is great, but if I don't do this course, you're saying to me that I'm going to be screwed forever. She's instilling a limiting belief in me, saying that if I don't do this course, I'm going to be single forever. And then I just said to her, I didn't know how to end the conversation because I was extremely grateful that she took the time to listen to my story and give me her advice. But at the end of the day, don't become aggressive because you can't guarantee me that something's going to work. She's like, you have to put in the effort and you have to put in the energy and you have to devote the time and get onto the webinars and da-da-da-da and da-da-da-da. She goes, I am so confident that if you do the work and you do my course, if at the end of it, it doesn't work for you, I'll give you your money back. And yeah, that sounds like a great deal, but why would I take a risk and invest in something when I'm not 100% sure that I'll get it back? And it almost sort of was one of those situations where it was like a little bit too good to be true. I wasn't really sure how to take it. And I don't know what I would think listening to this video. I was very emotionally distressed coming away from that conversation, thinking that, well, if I don't do this course, I'm fucked. I'm going to be single forever. And I'm never going to find my soulmate, and I'm never going to be happy again, and I'm never going to have a baby. That conversation was not at all helpful for my mental state of mind. Not to mention, in the background, I have been stressing about getting my divorce papers and everything together. So that's kind of been brewing in the background as well. And I don't know that she knew that, but I don't know that it was something that she needed to know. So I said to her, and we ended the conversation with saying, look, I said to her, please send me through your prices through email. She had my email address. She had my phone number, obviously, because she called me. And I said, please send through your prices, and I'm going to look at my budget and see whether there's something I can work out because, I would like to do your program, but I need to know whether I can financially afford it at this given moment in time. Right? So today I got a Facebook message from her. Hi Vanessa, I've had a think about it. Thank you for your time yesterday. I really think you should go on a mental health care plan. Go to the GP, get a mental health care plan, and go and see a psychologist to deal with your emotional trauma. Because no one should experience pain like you're experiencing for long periods of time. And I was like, are you serious? I got defensive. And I suppose the brilliance of having my own YouTube channel is this is my opinion. So it doesn't necessarily mean that people listening to my video are going to agree with my opinion. But I felt defensive because for the last 12 months I've been seeing my psychologist on a regular basis, and we've had a lot of chat time, and this girl had suggested that I see a trauma counsellor on top of my psychologist. And I was like, I became defensive, and I'm not quite sure why, but I thought I was doing really well. And it put things in perspective for me, and I kind of stepped back and went, hang on a minute. It made me question how I was doing. Instead of helping me, it made me feel worse. It's brought up a lot of pain, a lot of anger, a lot of hurt, a lot of tears, which I'm trying to hold back tonight because I don't want all of my videos to be about me crying, but it's just me sharing. I'm a very emotional person anyway, so for me crying is important because for me it's a good release. Oops, sorry, I just dropped the phone. But it made me really question where I had started. It made me question myself in my previous relationships, when I can't equivocally say that all of my past relationships had ended because of me. I can't take full responsibility for all of that. Also my upbringing and the way that my life's panned out. Like, I am very hard on myself a lot when it comes to work, relationships, friendships, just everyday stuff. I'm really hard on myself because I want to do the best that I can. Now I've started crying. I can't stop. So I'm really sorry. I'm trying to keep it together. But she almost made me feel worse about myself, that there's no way I can be fixed. There's no way I can go through to the other side. And I thought I was doing really well. Like, I was shocked. I was shocked for one person's opinion to really throw me off guard like that. And really make me question my situation. It made me question my future. It made me question my self-worth. And I shouldn't allow myself to let someone make me feel that way. I'm not in control of what other people think and what other people say and what's happened in the past. I can't go back in time and change it. By sitting here and brewing and thinking about it and punishing myself, that's not helpful to me. So, I don't know. I don't know what I would think listening to this video, because I'm confused about how I feel about this situation. Because I feel like she genuinely was concerned for me and wanted to help me, but the way she went about it was probably wrong, and she should have followed up. And I wrote back to her after reading this message tonight, and it's quite late, and I should be in bed, and I'm in bed, but I should be asleep. But she's upset me. I wrote to her, and I said, thanks for your time yesterday. I'm already seeing a psychologist, and she's very happy with my progress and where I'm at. And I said something along the lines of, although our conversation was quite painful and it's caused me a lot of grief and discomfort, it's something that I will be discussing with my psychologist at our next session. And she wrote back and said, I'm sorry, but no one should feel that amount of pain for an extended period of time. People don't have money to see psychologists. People live and suffer with pain and hurt and anguish for years. I mean, who is she to say that if I don't do her program or if I don't do what she's recommended, that I will never be cured? Not necessarily cured, but I will never move through my pain, never move through my anger or any emotional trauma that I've had from past relationships, not just with men, but with friends, with family, with work. I mean, I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure what to think. I'm trying to be diplomatic and I'm trying to think of her perspective, but I'm also trying to address how I'm feeling and wrap my thoughts around you know, what can I take out of this? You know. And applying for my own divorce has been really difficult too. It's very sobering and very final and sad. So this could be all wrapped up in one. There's a new moon as well. A new moon in Saturn and Taurus. So like lots of new change, lots of anguish, lots of pain coming up, and just need to sort of work through it. But I'm just reeling from this girl who has, I think she's had good intentions, don't get me wrong, but she's really upset me. And I guess by doing these videos, it allows me to sort of think through why I'm feeling what I'm feeling and is it helpful for me. I can't change what she thinks and her opinion or her concern. I can only control myself. I can choose to allow this woman to beat me down, and trust me, my thoughts today about it, I had a bit of a crappy day at work too. So I have a choice to allow this person to affect me, which I've obviously am affected, or I have a choice to accept her opinion, thank the universe for giving me what I needed to learn, and at least identify things that maybe I can work on my own, and I don't need someone to pay someone to do that. There are certainly some issues, not issues, but some discussion points that I will bring up with my psychologist when I see her next. Yeah, I'm not sure. And going through my emotions in my head makes me feel so much clearer, because before I was like, I'm never gonna find anybody. my self-worth, like, do I deserve a relationship? Like, all these stupid things going through my head that are not helpful to me at all. And I guess we are our own worst enemy sometimes, and the worst self-sabotage. I'm my worst critic, for sure. I try really hard to be this people pleaser, but what I really want and what I really stand for is to not be this people pleaser and to not allow people to affect me. I'm on a journey to find myself. I don't believe I'm ready for any relationship at the moment or dating. I just don't. I'm just not ready. I would like a male friend to hang out with. That would be nice. It'd be nice to have someone to just laugh with and just chill with. I think sometimes friendships with girls can be very complicated. You didn't call me. You didn't do this. So, yeah, look, going to a comedy show on Saturday night and hanging out with a friend that I haven't seen for a long time, but she's a really cool chick. And I'm looking forward to going to the comedy show, having a bit of a laugh, and going to a different venue that I don't really visit on a regular basis. Also, it's on the other side of town too. So I'm looking forward to going to the comedy show, having a bit of a laugh, letting my hair down. I think, I need to remember, and I guess what I want to share is that, everyone is on a journey. Things will come up and challenge you and challenge your beliefs and who you are, and I think it's important to embrace those challenges, because when you have moments where you're not challenged and where you're content, it allows you to really relish in that contentment and that happiness for where you are. So if we didn't have the shit times, we wouldn't really truly appreciate the good times. So I don't like dwelling on negative things, and I'm trying to just really sort through my head. I don't need someone to make me feel worse about myself when I'm trying so hard to pick myself up each and every day. And I just need to focus on the good things, and, glass is half full, it's not half empty. So she really challenged me, and I'm not going to allow someone to upset me like that. I think her intentions were good, but it just wasn't good timing for me. It's my emotion, is still very raw. So, I don't know what the future will hold. I'd like to think that the universe is kicking my ass, so to speak, so that it prepares me for, the good stuff that's coming. I don't know if there's any religious people listening, but I believe prayer is very important, or having something to believe in. I believe in the greater good of people. I believe in God to some degree, for sure. And I believe that my angels and my spirit guides who are with me are protecting me. And I've had a few signs in the past couple of days from them. Sometimes when you're in a bit of trauma and an emotional state, you kind of tend to block that stuff out. I'm generally pretty receptive to that, but yeah, I've blocked it in the past few days. I've just been too upset. So I'm looking forward to having a good night's sleep and looking forward to tomorrow, because tomorrow's a new day, it's a better day, and I choose to be happy and I choose to love myself more. I don't know how that's going to transpire. I'm looking at my phone because she's just messaged me again, and I haven't responded to her last message. I just can't. I'm not interested. She's upset me and I don't want to talk anymore. So yeah, I don't want to be jumping on here and bagging out people who are trying to help me. That was not the intent of this video, but it's really just merely me reflecting on how it came about. It seemed a bit too good to be true, and I'm sure she runs a fantastic program that works for a lot of people, but perhaps that's not for me at this point in time. So I'm gonna go to sleep and love myself more and do things this week to make me feel a bit better. So like have a bath, paint my nails because they look terrible, they're nice and chipped. I'm having pizza tomorrow at work, which is really exciting. So then I'm seeing my mum and we're going to the movies. So I'm really excited for tomorrow. And I'm going to put today behind me and just call it for what it was, and it's just bad timing. So I hope everyone out there is finding ways to love themselves more, and love on each other more, and really embrace those people in your life who are very important to you and who embrace you back. I think it's so important to have those people who are really helpful and that are quite solid, because emotional support is just as important. So love yourself more. Good night, everyone. Thank you very much for tuning in. It has been delightful. I feel much better having gotten that out, and I feel much more clearer in my mind about how I feel about the situation. So anyway, thanks for listening. Love yourself more. Good night.